Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, back again today with another fantasy football video. Today's video is a 10-team PPR, or 10-team half PPR draft, my bad, from the fourth slot, as requested by one of my subscribers, whose name is Al. So thank you guys all for helping me get to near 800 subscribers right now. We're getting close to it, and it really means a lot to me that you guys have been subscribing. And if you are new to the channel, it would mean a lot to me if you hit that subscribe button, because not only is it going to help me, it's also going to help you, because you guys are going to be dominating your drafts by all these videos I create. Then you're going to be dominating the regular season with all the other videos I make during the regular season. Okay, and if you stay tuned all the way to the playoffs, you will win your fantasy football championship. That is a pretty much guarantee. If you listen to me, you make the correct decisions, you will be able to win your fantasy football championship. Now, if you don't already have a fantasy football championship ring, belt, trophy, check my description down below for one of my sponsors. That is the fantasybros.com. Fantasybros.com. Use code Notorious to check out. Link is in the description. So let's get right into this 10-team half PPR draft from the fourth slot. So the first pick of the draft was Zeke, followed by CMC and Saquon Barkley. So typically Zeke does not go with the 101. That's very unnormal. Zeke is dealing with that holdout. Will he play week one? In my opinion, most likely. Am I scared of drafting him? Most definitely. But I will go with Mr. Saquon, or I will go with Alvin Kamara here at the fourth pick. There's really no explanation even needed for that. He's a top 3 running back, 100%, top 4 running back, 100% as long as he stays healthy. So I've went with Alvin Kamara, David Johnson came at the board, followed by D Hop, D Adams, Lev Bell, Nick Chubb, James Conner, Michael Thomas, Todd Gurley, Julio Jones, Dalvin Cook, Tyreek Hill, and Juju Smith-Schuster. So currently we already have one running back. We're going to look at the running backs still available. I think we're going to just go with 2 because one of my favorite running backs is still available, and that is Mr. Joe Mixon. Now, the reason why I love Joe Mixon so much is because he's on a team that I believe is going to run the ball a lot. Joe Mixon was good even with a terrible team last year. The team is still just as shit. I think he could probably be around a 10-touchdown guy total. They have him projected on Sleeper for 7 rushing touchdowns and 1 receiving touchdown. I think maybe it'll be 10 total. He's going to have that solid. He is a receiving back, so he will be getting those receptions, like I said. That gives you a solid boost in a half PPR league. And he'll probably rush for way over 1,000 yards, so I like him here in the second round, pick 7. So after moving with Joe Mixon, Mike Evans came out the board, followed by Odell Beckham Jr., Antonio Brown, Travis Kelce. Pretty late for Kelce. Typically, Kelce goes in the first 2 rounds, followed by Adam Thielen, Aaron Jones, and now it is our pick yet again. So right here, I would like to just wait on receiver and just go with a running back that I really do like. And the tip right here, it's between Carry-On. To me, it's between Carry-On and Damian Williams. Now, in my opinion, Carry-On is in like a worse situation, but in my opinion, I feel a bit safer drafting him because Damian Williams is, while I think it is kind of a committee, he's the lead back on the team, but I do know that Darwin Thompson has been playing amazing in training camp. Darwin Thompson looks to be the number 2 on the team, so I think if you draft Williams, you have to draft Darwin Thompson later in the draft. So if you are going to go with Thompson, or if you're going to go with Williams, you have to make sure you do that. But I'd rather feel safer with Carry-On, who I feel like will be getting the majority of touches on the team, probably 60-70% of the touches. CJ Anderson may vulture a few touchdowns, but I still think that Mr. Carry-On could go for over 1,000 yards and probably catch the ball 50-60 times this season, so I like Carry-On's value in the 3rd round. After with Mr. KJ, Damian Williams came at the board, followed by Pat Mahomes. Pretty typical. Pat Mahomes going around the 3rd, 4th round. Leonard Fournette, Devontae Freeman, Keenan Allen, Josh Jacobs, T.Y. Hilton, Chris Carson, David Montgomery, Melvin Gordon, Amari Cooper, and George Kittle. So now it's time to snag a wide receiver. We're going to first go with Stefon Diggs, wide receiver, Minnesota. I think Stefon Diggs is poised this year to really have a huge year because they hired a new offensive coordinator, and once that happened, Stefon Diggs' usage went up a lot. Adam Thielen took the side road. You know, he got pushed to the side, and it was the Stefon Diggs show. And I think that could be how it is this year. So I like Stefon Diggs here with Kirk Cousins in the 2nd year of that offense. So after with Stefon Diggs, Zach Ertz came off the board. So the big 3 tight ends already off the board, followed by Brandon Cooks, Marlon Mack, Julian Edelman, Sony Michel, and Mark Ingram. So we get one of my favorite wide receivers in Robert Woods. I think Robert Woods is going to be better than Cooks, better than Cup. It's pretty much a coin flip between who finishes higher, Cooks or Woods. I personally like Woods more. He felt a bit safer last year, and I think he could really be amazing this year with an offense that I think is going to throw the ball a lot more since where did Gurley get picked? Gurley at the 2-2, since Gurley is dealing with that knee arthritis. So after we went with Robert Woods, Chris Godwin came off the board, followed by Tyler Lockett, My bad. Derrick Henry, AJ Green, James White, Phillip Lindsay, Calvin Ridley, OJ Howard, Kenny Galladay, Tevin Coleman, Tyler Boyd, Jarvis Landry. So now we are going to go with likely another running back to build that running back depth, and that is exactly what we are going to do, and select the best running back still on the board, Miles Sanders. Now, Lamar Miller, if you guys didn't see, ended up tearing his ACL, out for the season most likely, or 100% out for the season if you tear your ACL. So we're gonna not avoid Lamar Jackson or Lamar Miller, but we are gonna go with Mr. Miles Sanders here, the running back one, most likely on Philly. Now he was a guy who a lot of people were hating. He held out to rest. Whatever. Him and Howard didn't play because they're the two starters. Now, what I do think is if Miles Sanders isn't the starter week 1, he will eventually be week 2 or 3, but he's our 4th running back. So we're just going to hold him on the bench and then play him eventually when we need him. So after with Miles Sanders, Cooper Kupp came out the board, followed by Deshaun Watson, Lamar Miller, Aaron Rodgers, Alshon Jeffrey, Baker Mayfield. And now it is our pick again now. Andrew Luck, doubtful, so doubtful that he announced retirement because he is fucking retired. Okay, guys, you can't draft Andrew Luck. A lot of the wide receivers on Indianapolis have less value. Ebron has a lot less value, even though I didn't think Ebron had that much value. And Marlon Mack is definitely going to take a step back. I think Ty could still be a top 20 wide receiver, but the rest of the guys are pretty much fading anyways. I don't like Hilton. Not Hilton. I don't like Ebron. I really didn't like Campbell or Devin Funches. So I'm fine just fading the position here. Now I'd like to snag a wide receiver that I really do like here in the back of the draft, and that is Mike Williams. Now I do like DJ Moore, but you're also dealing with the fact that DJ Moore's quarterback Cam Newton's dealing with that injury. He's a kind of an injury-prone player, so that does make me even more nervous. But I think he will be good for Week 1. But I'd still rather get Mike Williams, the wide receiver 2 on the LA Chargers, a team that's likely going to throw the ball a lot with Melvin Gordon injured. They're going to rely on Mr. Mike Williams and Keenan Allen on the passing game. Mike Williams was the wide receiver 3 on the team last year, still scored 10 touchdowns with Tyrell Williams in front of him. Tyrell Williams got shipped off. Now, I think Hunter Henry could impede on him scoring 10 touchdowns this year. Maybe he'll only get 8 or 9, but still love Mike Williams, a guy that's going to get over 100 targets this year, in my opinion, in the 7th round. After with Mike Williams, Drew Brees came off the board, followed by Evan Ingram, Hunter Henry, Latavius Murray, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Carson Wentz, Matty Ice, Tariq Cohen, Christian Kirk, Austin Eckler, Allen Robinson, and now it is our pick. So we are going to go with either a tight end or a quarterback here if I like the value. I don't really love the value of tight end here. I'd rather just wait. So we're going to build some more running back depth. We currently have 4 running backs and 3 wide receivers, so we're going to get another running back here. Yeah, I don't love Geis because I think AP and him may split, but I think if you draft AP and Geis later in the draft, you could have a hell of a combo there depending on which one becomes the running back 1, and then you just have the other one on your bench so that you can pretty much secure the backfield, which I wouldn't mind doing. I also like Drake because I think Drake will get a lot of uses this year, even though he's in the walking boot, so I am scared for his week 1 potential, but I would still draft him here because I think he will play a couple of weeks in the season, if not week 1, and he will be just a solid guy. He's on my bench, so I won't really ever need him, but in case of an injury, I will be able to play him. On bye weeks, I'll be able to play him, and I won't feel too bad about a guy who could potentially get 100 targets in the passing game. He's a solid pass catching back. I don't think he'll hit 100 targets, but he's one of those guys that I think could, and especially out of the guys this late, he's one of the guys that could definitely do that. He does get a lot of receiving work. He will run the ball probably 150, 160 times a year and potentially score maybe 6 touchdowns, 7 touchdowns total. Probably will not hit the 10 touchdown total, but the Dolphins look to improve this year. Hopefully Ryan Fitzpatrick can lead my Miami Dolphins, or Josh Rosen can lead my Miami Dolphins to be better. So after we selected Kenyan Drake, Curtis Samuel came at the board, followed by Will Fuller, Flash Gordon, Savior of the Universe, Darius Geis, Jared Cook, Marvin Jones. So now I like the value at tight end. I'm perfectly fine pulling the trigger on Mr. Big Vance McDonald here. Now, they said that Vance McDonald's usage won't go up, this, that, and the other thing, you know what I'm saying? But he was playing a lot of snaps with the offense, so with the first team offensive preseason, so I believe he is obviously the starter like I believed. I think he will get some solid usage, and I'm not really scared of that report. I don't think he's probably will go and snag 12 touchdowns or something crazy, but I think he'll score like 5, 6 touchdowns this year and be pretty solid every single game, and definitely have the value here in the 9th round. So after one with Vance McDonald, the Bears defense, first defense off the board, the worst pick of the draft. Actually, not the worst pick of the draft, because after that was Penny and then Andrew Luck, who was retired. Do not draft Andrew Luck. After Andrew Luck was Darrell Henderson, Jordan Howard, Eric Ebron, Kalen Ballage, Kareem Hunt, Newton, D.D. Westbrook, Pettis, and Sterling Shepard. So D.D. was one of my favorite targets at the wide receiver position late, so I'm kind of mad that I did not get him. But now, no, I won't pull the trigger on a quarterback just yet. Actually, I will, because I want to pair Mr. Jared Goff with Robert Woods. I like the idea of stacking a quarterback and a wide receiver. Now, I don't go ahead and at the beginning of the draft, I didn't tell you guys, hey, I got Woods, so we're going to get Goff. But Goff fell to us in the 10th round. I think Goff's going to elevate his game this year, looking to be throwing the ball slightly more. Obviously, with Todd Gurley's injury, they can't be using him so much. Obviously, they drafted Darrell Henderson. They still have Malcolm Brown, so they do have the running backs on the team. But I do believe that they will try to throw the ball more. I think Jared Goff played like shit in the Super Bowl, but I think he will get back to mid-season form, probably for the beginning of the season. So after with Mr. Jared Goff, Geronimo Allison came at the board, followed by Old Man, LaShawn McCoy, MVS, Rolls-Royce Freeman, Sammy Watkins, and Larry Fitzgerald. So now it is time to snag a probably another running back or a wideout option here. I'd probably just go running back here and get Mr. Duke Johnson. Now, Duke Johnson's ADP, he's not going to be drafted in the 11th round, I don't believe. I think he's going to be a guy that sneaks up and gets picked in like the 7th round now. But right now, if you're drafting, some people in your league, if you're drafting today, as I'm recording this video, some people may not know about the Lamar Miller injury, and you may be able to snag Duke Johnson late. So he may fall in the 11th round in some leagues because that's where his ADP is on NFL.com, on Sleeper, wherever you may be drafting. Sorry about that. After I drafted Duke Johnson, Emmanuel Sanders got picked, followed by Rojo, Russell Wilson, David Njoku, Corey Davis, Devin Singletary, Kyler Murray, Mr. 5'6", Rams D, Jackson, AP, Breida, and Carlos Hyde. So now it's time to snag a wide receiver. So we're going to go with the best wideout still available. And in my opinion, that is Dante Moncrief. Dante Moncrief this year looks to be the wide receiver 2 on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the wide receiver 2 on the Pittsburgh Steelers definitely has some solid value. They love to air the ball out. Big Ben loves doing that. Juju will obviously get a shit ton of targets, but I still think that Moncrief will have some solid value in the 12th round because he's the wide receiver 2 on the team. And Mr. James Washington is going to be the wide receiver 3 or wide receiver 4. So I'm going to go with Moncrief here. After one with Mr. Moncrief, his teammate Jalen Samuels came at the board, followed by Phil the Throw Rivers, James Washington, Famous Jameis, Peyton Barber, and Darwin Thompson. So now it is time. We currently have 4 wide receivers, so I'll happily snag another running bike here. And we're going to get Mr. Justin Jackson because of the upside that when Melvin Gordon is out, you will be able to play Justin Jackson. Justin Jackson will be the RB2 on the team, which is obviously not ideal because well, it is ideal because in reality, Eckler is not going to be working super hard. If you look at the stats, Justin Jackson last year, while Melvin Gordon was gone, put up multiple 15-point games, so I like Justin Jackson here. After going with Justin Jackson, Delaney Walker came off the board, followed by Lamar Jackson, Cortland Sutton, Jags defense, DK Metcalf, Tyrell Williams, Anthony Miller, Tom Brady, N'Keal Harry, Ravens defense, Tony Pollard, Big Ben, and the draft is fucked still, so it does say there's 16 rounds, even though there should only be 15. So we're going to go with our defense here, and the way you're going to pick a defense is you're going to go on Google, okay? And then you're going to click NFL schedule week 1. Actually, not going to click it. You're going to type that in, and then look at a defense playing against a shitty offense, and that is the Cowboys playing the Giants week 1. After we went the Cowboys, Dickie Dak Prescott came off the board, followed by Alexander Madison, Golden Tate, Cleveland Browns defense, Chargers, Vikings, and now we're going to get our kicker in Greg the Leg Zuerlein. He probably won't be here this late in the draft because a lot of people go kickers early because they're crazy. So after we went with Greg Zuerlein, Tucker was taken, followed by the Texans, Bucker, Will Lutz, Gostowski, Jake Elliott, Denver Broncos, Kiki, Austin Hooper, Gallup, Fairbairn, Hill. And if there was an extra bench spot, you can't even see the guy you draft. I would just draft likely another wideout here and go with the high upside of John Brown, potentially being the wide receiver 1 in targets on Buffalo. So after we went with John Brown, Giorgio came off the board, followed by Robbie Gould and Michael Badgley. So our starting lineup is Jared Goff, followed at the quarterback. Our 2 running backs are Kamara and Mixon. Our 2 wideouts are Diggs and Woods. Our tight end is Mr. Big Vance McDonald. Our flex is Kerryon Johnson. Our kicker is Greg the Leg Zuerlein. Our defense is the Cowboys against the Giants week 1. Our bench is comprised of Miles Sanders, Mike Williams, Kenyan Drake, Duke Johnson, Moncrief, Justin Jackson, and then we drafted John Brown, but you guys can't see him because the draft should have only been 15 rounds, but Sleeper is kind of messed up. So thank you guys all for watching the video. If you did end up enjoying, please click that subscribe button down below. It's going to mean a lot to me. It's going to mean a lot to you. Have a great goddamn day. I love each and every one of you. Have a great day. Goodbye, guys.